crashed into your car, if I ever left, he's gone. If I ever broke your heart, if I crashed into your car, if I ever left, he's gone. If I ever broke your heart, could you forgive me?
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Frontline Youth Podcast. This is Elijah Tijero, and I'm here with
Elijah.
Unfortunately.
All right.
How many times have I said the word unfortunately in an intro, bro?
Nobody go through and count, bro. I don't wish that on anyone. That's like a lot of...
It's literally 50 episodes, 53 episodes. That's all you got to go and listen to the beginning.
The intros can range from 15 seconds to 1 hour. So... That's a lot of listening for the word unfortunately.
No, like the start where it's like, what's up, guys? I'm here with blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, this is happening or something. I guess it'd be a lot of time.
I'm concerned for the well-being of our listeners.
I don't know, maybe about a minute.
If you would even consider doing that, actually, your well-being is already in question. So I guess you can do as you please.
Everyone who considered doing it, you've just called them questionably well. Yeah,
yeah, I did.
All right.
Sorry. Y'all, I got the soundboard on the app. Anyway.
How have you been doing?
If it's not good, you need therapy.
I'm talking about you.
Dang it!
Oh, gosh.
I'm sorry. I'm just figuring out my butt.
Yes. I meant you, Elijah.
How am I doing in what way?
I don't know. I feel like we always get on this podcast and then act like we don't know each other.
Act like I don't know nobody.
Thank you.
Y'all get that reference?
Of course they don't.
Of course. No, bro. Anyway, I'm doing quite well, I think. What should I say?
What's the most interesting thing that's happened in your day today?
Oh, I had an orientation for a place of work, and that was pretty interesting. Most interesting experience in that experience, they were asking, because y'all, I'm working at Chick-fil-A for the time being until the fall. Well, maybe through the fall if I don't get accepted anywhere, and I'll have to work on a different job. But the idea is at the end of this month get accepted to some college, and go off. But anyway, I'm at Chick-fil-A, right? They ask you what your favorite item on the menu is for small talk. The new hires answer. We answer just saying what we would get. Fun fact also, I don't know that much about Chick-fil-A, bro. I don't know anything about the menu because all I get is spicy chicken sandwich. So of course that's what I told him. Then this dude to our right is like, "Oh, I really like the chicken wrap they have." Are you following, Isaiah?
Yeah.
I tried to hit the clap. It didn't clap. Hello? There you go. That's weird. My phone vibrates every time I hit. Anyway, so we're just talking about all that stuff. And then the lady who's giving us the introduction, and it's like, man, well, my favorite item is the chicken minis. It's like this little, I don't know if it's just breakfast, but it's like, what do they call it? They didn't say it's bread. They said a yeast roll, a buttered yeast roll.
It's a bread. It's bread.
But
it's a slider. It's like a chicken slider.
Yeah, it's like a slider. Thank you. That's a good word. And it's got that good chicken in the middle, and it's just little bites. It's like chicken nuggets made into sandwiches, bro, but glorified. So anyway, she said that's her favorite. I'd had one before from someone at school, and I was like, oh, yeah, you know what? Those are pretty good. And the guy next to me was like, oh, yeah, those are pretty good. Then the other guy who said the thing about the chicken wrap was like, I don't know what it is, but those are just not my favorite. Whole room goes quiet. Not literally, bro. I'm being dramatic, but it was like for 1 second, bro, was like just looked at him and was like, what? So anyway, later on in the orientation, this lady comes back with 2 free orders of the chicken minis and does not bring this dude one. And I was like, is this shade or is she doing it because he had no preference? Like, because he was biased against it. So I just offered to share with him. But then when she saw, she was like, "Oh, wait, did you want one?" And he was like, "Oh no, thank you, I'm good." So then I didn't share. But bro, I was like, bro, like she didn't give him one
in the world, kind of.
Bro, she did not give him a. I don't know,
because she didn't think he wanted one. That seems normal.
Bro, I would have come back with something. It was vile to see 2 boxes
and hey, bro,
and 3 dudes.
She came back and said, "Oh, would you like one?"
I'm
sure he was like, "All right."
Nah, she came back with 2.
I'll forgive you.
I said. I don't know, bro. Y'all might have to go to Girls Gone Bible.
No, bro. I am not giving them a shout out.
Oh, my bad. Don't.
It's too
pretend
late.
I didn't say any of that.
It's too late.
Forget I said any of that. Dang it. I don't know why I hit that button. I can't really see, because they have like no image on them.
Yeah.
But anyway, Isaiah, why would you say such a thing as that? I hope you guys enjoyed my extensive Chick-fil-A story. I'm sorry it was the way it was, but I hope it was slightly entertaining. And for future reference, bro, if you have a group of people who are in an equal position, try to give them each something, man. I felt so bad for that dude. And he was going to take one when I offered too, but then she asked, and he had to double down, which I also feel that. Anyway, Isaiah, why would you say, why would you talk about him being forgiven?
Him forgiving.
Him forget? What?
Not him being forgiven.
Oh, he was forgiven for not getting the food.
Yeah, he was forgiving her.
Okay, word.
For excluding him.
Right.
He said they're not his favorite. I don't think he said, I hate them.
That's what, yeah. Big fact. Did you just break something?
No, my keys fell out my pocket.
Okay.
Ignore it.
All right.
So the reason why I brought up forgiveness is because that is the subject matter of our episode today. I feel like it's been so long since we've recorded a full-length episode.
It has.
So, well, I mean, it has.
It's been a long time.
But, it doesn't change that I feel like it, does it?
My bad. Forgive me real quick. As a matter of fact, forget I even said it. We don't have a laugh button.
Thank
I just
goodness.
embarrassed myself, bro.
Because it's not funny.
I just embarrassed myself looking for a laugh button. Anyway, the reason we're talking about forgiveness.
I answered that.
Really?
I said because that's the subject matter of the pod.
Explain.
How do I explain it?
I mean, you answered it fully. I was just looking for a lengthy explanation.
Of
But you're right.
what?
That is the subject matter of this podcast episode. And do you even remember how it came about? I don't.
No. Yes, I do. But not strongly.
All right.
We were in frontline youth, as it were.
What is that? That's right. Explain it. I think we've explained it about 4 times in 53 episodes.
Frontline youth is the youth group at our church. I'm not explaining it further. Now, we were there, and somebody was talking about forgiveness and how you need to forgive and forget. Because there was the concept of you forgive someone, but then you treat them poorly or something because you haven't actually forgiven them, or you're living your life and you're not letting them make up for their mistakes or something to that effect. And it made me question and wonder, like, what is the course of action as when regarding forgiveness, 1, and forgiving and forgetting 2, or to not forget?
That was so loud.
Just a little bit.
We didn't. It's okay.
You can adjust them, turn them down.
But don't lose your train of thought by my interruption.
I haven't lost my train of thought. My train of thought was done. Now, to move on with the podcast and those thoughts, we have to go into what we think of forgiveness, obviously. So you have a frame of reference from where we're coming from. So our understanding is that forgiveness is an important skill to have as a person. Now, you may be saying, skill?
What?
What are What are you talking about skill? A skill is when you're able to dunk a basketball or run 1,000 miles in a single second. You know?
What are you talking? That is not as, that is drugs and hallucination.
That wouldn't be a skill, Elijah.
Please carry on. I don't know why that would be. Please go ahead without mentioning that again.
But a skill is something that takes practice, takes work in order to master. And forgiveness is definitely fits into that category.
I was going to add on to your definition, but stop myself. That skills have a positive connotation, right? Like if you say someone is skilled, usually that's a good thing. But then I was like, does it have to be a good thing? It depends on what you're skilled at. You could be skilled at,
Arguing.
doing something terrible.
Murder.
Well, okay, being skilled at arguing, I think is different from being like an argumentative person.
A skilled murderer.
Yeah, you could be a skilled murderer, and that's maybe that's not good. So, is skill necessarily good? No, maybe not.
Anyway, indeed.
The reason that question came to my mind was I was wondering if everyone would agree that forgiveness is necessarily a positive thing, or if some people would think it's an unnecessary thing in the world.
Right. Now, obviously, this is a faith-based podcast.
Right.
A Christian podcast. We're Christians on this podcast. Let me get in the mic. So, of course, we're going to read the Bible and bring that perspective in. Elijah's dumb. Matthew 18, verses 21 to 22. Then Peter, no, I'm going to read it normal. Then Peter came to Jesus and asked, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times? He said that incredulously, like 7 was a lot. Jesus answered, I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times. Now, obviously, forgiveness is a biblical virtue. We just read it. Now, some of you are saying, well, once I get to 78, you're done for.
Wait, wasn't it 70 times 7?
The
Am I making that up as we speak?
I remember it as being 70 times 7 as well. But what I gleaned here from at least I guess this version of the Bible says 77.
So before we move on to the next thing that is written in the notes, I wanted to pose a question.
Sure. Oh, to the listeners?
To just in general for all of us to think about, but yes, for us to talk about now, but for the listeners to come up with their own answer for and drop it in the comments. But anyway, why is it that we read the Bible and say, oh, the Bible says and Jesus says to forgive, therefore it's good for me to forgive personally in my life?
Well, if you go back a few episodes, we described the term Christian. We defined it as being Christ-like. Now, just go listen to the episode, bro, to hear all the nuance. But for the most part, if you want to be a Christian, that means that your goal is to be like Christ. Right. And that's why if Christ said such and such a thing, of course we're going to align with those beliefs and thoughts and ideas.
I see. The reason I asked is because I'm taking an ethics class right now, as some of you might know, because I probably have mentioned it before. And the class is kind of annoying sometimes, but it prompts a lot of useful thought, I think. And in my textbook, it talks about all different types of reasoning for morality. And like, oh, some people believe that to do such and such is moral because it produces the most happiness in the world or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And it keeps on ragging on the idea that historically people have done things, quote unquote, because God said so. And then that's the end of the reasoning. However, I think that's an unfair way to portray it because that is the truth. But because God said so is a conclusion. Like it's a thought that is led up to. It doesn't start there. Because like, okay, God said to do something.
Yeah.
Well, why should we care? Is it because he can destroy us and he's super powerful and that's why? So then we just listen without a second thought? Like, why should we value the opinion of God? Now, that's a crazy question, but it might not be crazy to all, which is why I asked it.
Word. Interesting. Are we going on to the next part of the notes, or were you looking for sort of...
Give me a quick opinion on that question, and then, yeah, we can move on.
on why we should listen to God?
Yeah.
Because he knows what's best. You said that answer sucked.
I
Look,
mean, how does he know what's best? Why should I trust that he knows what's best?
because he created the heavens and the earth. He's the beginning and the end. You know what I mean? He's all knowing, meaning he knows all.
No, but that's true though. I do agree with that. I wasn't looking for a specific thing. I just wanted to know what you would say in response, and I'm curious to know what the listeners will say, also. But yeah. So what I was getting at before when I was saying all that was that once you begin to understand that God is all knowing, and maybe through experience you realize that he uses his all knowingness for benevolent purposes, if you talk to him, then later on, understanding who God is, then you can say, because God said so, I'll do it. So that wasn't like the start of your reasoning, but because you know who God is and what he can do, then you can just take him at his word out of trust. But anyway, like, what's the saying, bro? How do you know it was a lie? And it's because so-and-so said it or something like that. It's because a politician said it, I think the saying goes, but yeah.
Sure.
Anyway, that was my short spiel. I hope you guys had fun. So, moving on to the next point. And remember, guys, since I may have caused you to forget, we are talking about forgiveness here. Isaiah, why don't you ask the question of all time?
Why do people find it hard, difficult, a struggle perhaps, a toil, a tenuous toil, tenuous?
Bro, the soundboard buttons are not working. I'm spamming my phone screen and it's just doing nothing. I'm gonna have to gasp in real life.
You use the keyboard.
You're right, but won't that stop the recording or something?
No.
I can click it on the... But anyway, the question, build it up.
Again?
Or I guess not.
Why do some people find it hard, difficult, a struggle, a tenuous tirade of terror?
You said tenuous again.
Is that not a word?
Oh, maybe it is. Anyway.
To forgive others.
Why?
Why is that? What are some reasons? Why do people struggle so much with saying, you know what? I get that you did that. Maybe you hurt me, but I forgive you.
But I forgive you. Why is that so hard? One reason I say is because maybe they don't. It's hard to say it because they don't forgive them. But anyway, how?
That's real spiel.
But beyond that, why is it hard to forgive them in the first place?
Well, okay. Not looking at the notes here, just going off the dome. I would say that one obvious reason is that they're remembering whatever the person did. And they're like, yeah, no. I guess that's what you just said. They don't forgive them.
No, but I was saying you can't say I forgive you because you don't forgive them. But why don't they forgive them? And then you answer. So honestly, yeah.
Right. So they don't forgive them because they're still either still affected and hurt by whatever was done to them by said person, or they are remembering it and remembering what it was like when they were under those same effects.
Reliving it in the
mind.
mind.
Reliving it in the mind.
That sounds like a super dramatic happening, and it kind of is, but it low-key happens to everybody at least twice a week. Maybe not if your life is like especially happy. But
Like mine.
all right. But you know, somebody will say something, and maybe what they say isn't twice a week, but it's something just comes up from before, or something reminds you of it, and you relive it personally. That's where you get those memes about people like, oh, I had the perfect comeback in the shower or whatever, because they were mad about an old argument, and it comes up again, and they relive it in their minds with all the emotion on all the, except this time they came prepared with a comeback that they'll never get to use. But anyway, the reliving, it's not like you know, you see a vision and you're overtaken by, but it's an emotional experience.
Yeah.
That happens often. It happens to you, doesn't it, listener? Maybe not, though, if you're a bot.
What?
Shout out to my Zuckerbergs out there. I don't know what I'm talking about. What were you saying? You said what? Were you about to ask a question?
No.
That was your question, what?
I was responding to you and your antics.
Oh, that was before I even said the Zuckerberg thing. There was nothing to what about.
You said bot.
Oh.
You called our listeners bots.
I said they could possibly be a bot. That didn't mean... Are you guys bots? So...
Another reason why people may find it difficult to forgive someone is because they don't deem the person deserving of their forgiveness. So they're like, I forgive you for this, and then you're still stupid. Or I forgave you for, I don't know, let me throw out an example that's not that crazy. I forgave you because I let you borrow my Game Boy and you gave it back to me and the L button doesn't work. I forgave you for that. But then I gave you my DS and the touch screen doesn't work?
What?
You don't deserve my forgiveness anymore. You lost it. That's loud.
That is, it's kind of, I might cease to use it.
You can see the volume when you click it, bro.
What? Oh, I can. Well, why won't it let me turn it down? What happened to my voice just now? Oh, there you go. Now it's working. So there you go. That's a lot better.
Word. Okay.
But yeah, I can see another type of example where, let's say, you crashed my car and I let you drive my car, right? Because I have a car. And I let you drive my car and you crash it. And I know that you're a good driver. So, and it wasn't anyone else's fault. You were just trying to change the song or something, right? And I'm like, man,
Bro, wait. Remember what you're saying.
right?
You just reminded me. Bro, there were these cars that came out.
Oh, no.
I don't know if they might have been electric vehicles.
Sports utility vehicle.
But the
some of
transmission,
y'all.
right? The way you change gears, like you put it in park, put it in drive or whatever,
Yeah.
was a dial. And I remember when that thing came out and the specs and the pics came out and everybody was like, imagine you trying to turn your song up and throw it in park.
Then collapses. Yeah.
Sorry, that's all I could think about. Anyway, you're trying to change the song and you crashed the car.
So I lend you my car. I know that your driving abilities are adept. So it's not like you're blind or old, or my bad, blind and old people. And I wish you well. And you can't like.
And I wish you well.
My bad, y'all. But I know that you can maneuver the car wonderfully. There's no issues with that. And I somehow know that other drivers weren't drunk or distracted, but because of CCTV, I know that it was you trying to change the song and you crashed the car, right? And it's not because of that stupid dial either. That sounds like a terrible idea. I'm not going to lie. Don't buy that car unless you want to buy it for me. I'll take it.
But it was because.
But yeah, so you crashed the car because of your foolishness, and I know it. And you're like, hey, I'm real sorry that I crashed that car. And I'd be like, maybe I would forgive you if it was rainy and you lost control, or if it was your second day driving and I was the one foolish enough to lend you my car. But I knew exactly what I was doing until you decided to be foolish and change the song. So because this was your fault and it was because of your carelessness and not some innocent mistake, I do not forgive. I do not release you from your actions. So it's like they could have maybe earned it in a slightly different situation, but based on the events, bro, no. You're not getting forgiven. Your story wasn't good enough for me. Come up with a better one.
Interesting. Okay.
Another reason
I
that
was
it can
just
be
about to say
difficult to forgive someone.
And this one you're gonna have to explain because I don't even get it.
Okay, is because of fear or
Oh,
an expectation that
I
the
get it
person
now.
will re-offend. Go ahead and explain it.
so you might not want to forgive someone because you feel like it might be a waste. Only
It'll go down the
because
drain.
you're going to be like, I forgave you, but you just keep doing the same thing over and over.
Yo,
It's
why
like-
did you turn into an alien villain?
It's like, you know what? Why if I'm forgiving you every time, I'm giving you license to, oh well, he's gonna get over it. He always forgives me when I say sorry.
Right.
There are never any consequences. So, I'll keep crashing his car. I'll keep turning that dial. No,
Right.
stop. No.
So Josh Danke is like, man, if Jill Danke cheats on me,
Who is Jill Danke?
I don't know. I just made it up. It's his wife in this example, in this
Okay.
pocket of the universe.
Sounds good.
And if she cheats on me, and I'm like, Jill, I know that sometimes I can frustrate you, and you know what? I understand that you're seeking
If she
comfort in
cheats
other
on him,
places.
hold on.
Right. She cheats on him, and he forgives her. He's like, she's just gonna think, oh, all I have to do is drop a tear, and he's gonna be like, I understand your feelings, Jill. So I can't forgive her. I have to, I don't know, attack her.
Attack her.
I have to
Maybe stand
make
strong.
her feel the pain that I felt when I fell down them 11 flights of stairs.
Dog. Sidetrack. Some of y'all, I've never heard anyone in the comments say, "Man, you guys get sidetracked too much." But if you think that, please let us know, and we'll adjust it.
Please drop a dislike.
Drop a dislike. But I do have a sidetrack
If you drop that dislike, check
based
your
on
inbox.
my boy Josh and
Right.
his girl Jill.
Okay.
Now, let's say hypothetically, you're in a situation
Let's say, all right, but yeah.
where you have been cheated on.
All right, I'm not laughing anymore because some of the listeners may have.
Would you forgive? Elijah?
Oh, me, bro! I thought you were letting it sink in. I was like, let me not get in the way of this moment. I'm like, you start saying Elijah. I'm like, why is he talking to Elijah? Who is that? Me.
Yes, sir.
If I was cheated on, you see what's might be kind of hypocritical about my answer to this is it may depend on the circumstance.
Okay, yeah.
So, like, defining forgive here, and I guess we'll have to reference this conversation later now, so you're putting me on the spot. But I may, like, stop seeking after them, like, oh, I'm not going to post hate messages about you. I'm not going to keep bringing you up to family members and being like, I can't believe she did that.
You're not?
Not if the situation doesn't call for it. I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, I guess the weather is nice. You know what's not nice? Oh, that plumber just fixed that toilet so fast. You know what else was done fast? man, this dog just keeps slipping right under my nose and tearing up the house. You know what else slipped under my nose and destroyed my home? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm probably not likely to do something like that.
Nobody cheat on him, bro.
That's great. That's great advice. Yes, don't cheat on me.
That is good advice.
Or anyone.
Beware.
Okay, bro.
There is much more consequences than divorce, apparently.
What did I say?
You just sound deranged. They're in danger.
Put me in Arkham Asylum, bro. I don't care. No, but my bad, Joe. If I was too loud just now. But anyway, yeah. So I might not actively. I don't believe I would actively seek after revenge on this person. I won't try to embarrass them, ruin her life, you know, or anything like that.
Okay.
Or even stalk a new profile she makes, or tell her next guy that she's gonna cheat on him.
You wouldn't warn him?
Unless I'm his boy and that's actually the case. Like, if she reformed and her life was new, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, well, she cheated on me that one time. Now, if she was still the same girl, I might tell the guy if he's my boy. If he's not my boy, I didn't see it. Now,
if he is your boy, he's not gonna date her.
you know, there are complicated rules to these things.
Nah, bro, the rules are simple.
But let's say another scenario where I also get cheated on. Let's say,
Yep.
let's say we were, I took her out on a date.
Sure.
And she didn't like the food or something, but she
With
was,
the
you know,
Applebee's.
keeping her cool. Oh my gosh. If I take you out on a date to Applebee's, just shoot me.
Break up with me immediately.
Hold on, bro. If y'all are listening and you took out your significant other on a date to Applebee's,
Look, it's more about the time you spent with the other person.
You're exactly on the same train of thought. What matters is that you considered them and that you wanted to do a special day with them.
However, if you've ever been to Applebee's before and then you take them, you didn't consider them.
Yeah. And listen, this is not a diss about the finances of going to Applebee's instead of Miyabi Steakhouse or something like that. I'm just saying, bro, especially because, bro, if you're listening right now, you have more money than I do. But anyway, dang it. Applebee's is from hell. So anyway, yeah. So let's say we go out. Sorry. We go out on a date and she doesn't like the food, right? But she's like, you know, he's trying to spend some special time with me, so I'm going to keep it on the low. We keep talking. Everything's normal. It's just food. But she takes the one bite of the, what's she eating, Isaiah?
Lobster roll.
They don't got that. I'm going to take out a real example. She takes a one bite of that burger that she got, that Israel recommended.
Oh, you guys are officially at Applebee's
We're
now.
officially,
I
yeah.
thought, okay.
And it's just watery. It tastes like it was dunked in somebody's water, and it's dripping wet, and the bun falls apart. And she goes, oh! It just comes out. She had no choice in the matter, right? And I'm like,
burger was boiled. Boiled in the bun.
They broiled it without the R. Anyway,
you made me lock in.
My bad. Now I need to. Yeah, so she takes the bite and it's nasty, and she's like, "Oh," or makes whatever sound of disgust, and I'm offended by it, and I'm like, "What's her name, Isaiah?"
What's your imaginary girl's name?
I guess this is
Nebula.
Nah, because that's like in reference to a real person still. Shout out to what episode was that, so they can go check it out, so they don't think something is going crazy.
That was the Love Blitz.
Go check out the Young Love Blitz, y'all.
You know,
back up.
But it's okay, I thought now she's just in the lore.
You're right.
Like if I'm talking about Nisha, I might not be talking about real Nisha. It's just a fake name.
Plot twist, it's Jill Danke.
All right.
And I'm like, Jill, are you serious right now? I take you out to a special date, and you're just gonna blurt out such disrespectful things in front of my face? I'm out, right?
I'm
And
gonna let it slide.
I leave her there, and I don't pay for the food. I leave her to pay for both of our bill. I drive away in the car that we both rode in to get there, and I go and buy cigarettes or something. I don't know. I can't legally do that, but and whatever. And then I don't see her for another 2 months. I was gonna say 2 weeks, and I was like, that's too soon. I don't know, bro. But anyway, some guy that's better than me comes along to comfort her, and she enjoys that comfort a lot. And that's the cheating scenario. There's more to blame than her for what happened.
Okay. Sure.
Now, I know I just said a lot, and then I excused it because I was evil. However,
he's more than evil.
Don't y'all be cheating, bro. Send that dude a text and say it's done, or go meet him or something, and then be done with him. But cheating is just.
This episode is not about cheating.
Thank goodness. I would have gone into a boiling rage.
It's about forgiveness.
Right. Maybe
I guess I'll answer the question quickly.
Okay. Right. No Applebee's.
If I got cheated on, would I forgive her? Yeah. Would I continue to date her? Or if we're married, I got to fight for that. But if we're dating, oh, no.
Okay, so now on what condition? Is there a condition where you will not fight for it?
In a marriage?
Yeah.
No. I'd have to fight for it.
What if she was
You mean, okay, is there like a, where it's like, that's the last straw, this is not going to work?
She's like, whatever, I don't care whether you forgive me or not. I'm going to keep doing what I want because...
Oh, then yeah, no, I'm done.
If that's different.
If she doesn't want to change.
Right.
You know, you can't make a marriage work by yourself.
Fact.
At all.
Fact. Y'all should get that tattooed. Don't actually do that, but you know what I'm saying?
Or if it's like she wants to, that's her reaction to if I do something wrong, she's like, I'm going to go cheat on him some more.
That's so bad.
I can't stay married to you, bro.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, can you bring me some water with crushed ice? You bring your cubed ice.
Cubed? I'm cheating on you
Honey,
tonight.
I've got to go out. I have an entanglement to get into.
That's
Sorry,
wrong.
my bad,
That's wrong. But yes, bro. Sometimes forgiveness is powerful because if I were to forgive her after all that, I'm goated.
Okay. No, bro, you are abused. Oh my goodness.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that actually. But all right, now.
And that's why it can be hard to forgive if you fear that they will do it again.
Yes. Now that we're at the end of the tangent, tell us, man, do you guys go off topic too much?
Don't tell us, please.
Do you think so, or
Don't
did you enjoy the tangent?
Just lie to us honestly and say like wonderful, nice things.
All right. Another reason people can't forgive is because they have difficulty in empathizing with the offender. I think this is definitely more relevant when it comes to people you don't know,
okay,
or strangers. So like, let's say someone were to do something wrong, obviously, but you don't know them personally. So then you're like, you can't really see it from their point of view. Like maybe they said something that is rude to you, but in their culture or something, it's not rude. Like, okay, let's say for example in Guyana, where everyone is called by how they look. If they don't know your name, they'll say like, hey, fat man. Come, hey, fat man, you see me?
Yeah, look, if you're a little overweight, don't do the impact team. I mean, definitely do, bro.
Don't go, but like,
don't.
If they call you fat man, they're not making fun of you. You're just fat.
Yeah.
And they see that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so then you can't, so for me, I live there. I know this.
Right.
I can empathize with the fact that I'm not going to get offended that you call me fat man, because That's just it's just a guy and it's a
I'd be a little
culture.
offended, bro. I'm like, hey, I know where we are, but hey, you watch it, Buster.
No. It's cultural. But if I didn't know, then of course it would be difficult for me to forgive them because I don't understand. I don't empathize with what you got going on. I don't care about, oh, it's your culture. I might even learn about it after the fact.
Yeah.
And won't care. Because you called me fat man. Sorry. It's very funny, bro.
Another factor that plays into the same reasoning is, well, there are two more. One of them is simpler. It's when somebody does something that you would just never do. You can't even conceive it.
That's real.
So you can know them, you can be familiar with them, and then they stab your niece. And you're like, bro, I know that people are human. Of course.
You gonna forgive someone for stabbing your niece?
Exactly. I know that people are
asking.
human. I'm getting there. I don't know. But I know that no one's perfect. Everyone's trying to do. You stabbed my niece. I don't know what would make you do that unless. Just kidding. There's no unless. Why did you stab my niece?
Bro.
I can't.
You can't. Yes, there is no reason where you would stab somebody's niece. Right? So it's like, bro, I don't forgive you because I don't get it.
But it can be that way with cheating too, because sometimes
We're back to cheating.
I'm sorry. The
No, it's
example is
fine.
just out there. But like maybe I couldn't see Jill Danke's reasoning for why
You
she
gotta stop with Jill Danke, bro. How is she
cheating on everybody,
dating
with everybody.
you,
She
married
dating
to
everybody,
Josh?
married to everybody, cheating on everybody, but she's a great person, unless in the particular example she's not. So, I could find it hard to understand why she did what she did, either because I'm willfully not looking at it from her point of view and seeing all the things that I did, or because it just doesn't really make sense to me, because I don't think the same way.
I don't know who thinks that way. I mean, a lot of people, I guess, but like, cheating is like it's for something that's so common. It's
pretty dastardly.
Yes, bro. It's so bewildering.
Okay, so a lot of times the context of cheating is described in a purely sexual manner, but for this example in particular, I'm gonna say they didn't do anything crazy, but they did go home together and like share meals together and hug and whatever and all that stuff. So that way we won't say, I don't know, Jill did it because she was actually planning to do it for a long time because she was just hungering and whatever.
But all right, but then
right?
what if they're like, yeah, that's my homie. That's my friend. That's my very close guy friend.
Well, y'all don't be the guy friend. My bad. I've been too loud again, and I will repent. Anyway, bro.
That's a no-go.
Yeah, so I think it would still be something to be forgiven by, like, because it would still be something that's hurtful, even if it's never outwardly a romantic relationship between these two. You're like, bro, I'm your husband. I
think, yeah, that's where communication comes in.
Right.
It's like you make it known, honey, I am not comfortable with this friendship of yours with bro. Please refrain.
Please. With August.
What? What?
That's the entanglement. I've done it again.
Okay. All right.
My bad.
Tupac.
Oh my gosh. All right. Anyway.
Did I ever mention Tupac?
The reason I married you is because you kind of reminded me of Tupac.
All right. So
I wish I married. All right.
You don't empathize you don't get why someone would do such a thing, so it's hard for you to forgive them.
Right, and I mentioned 2 other ways that this, and I said one of them, and you've now mentioned communication. This timing could not be better. Another thing is that maybe you might have done the same thing in their shoes, but you never knew about those shoes. Like, this person, your idea of this person is that they could never do such a thing as this, and you trusted them, and your idea of them is built off a certain image, and then what they do is completely outside of that image, so you just didn't expect it. Like, let's say Isaiah's a safe driver, and he crashes my car because he's changing the song. I would forgive someone else for changing the song, but he never changes the song mid-acceleration. That's just foolish. So, I never knew it was in him to do it. We never, that was a bad example, but anyway, like, if you trusted a specific person not to do a specific thing because of things that you thought you knew about them, and the truth about them was different, but it was never shared between you. So it's just more heartbreaking, and therefore you can't understand them and empathize.
Thank you.
Yep.
My finger is aching right now.
Bro, explain. What happened to your finger, Isaiah? Go ahead, tell the world.
I was in a thumb war. With
Go ahead and
Satan.
unsubscribe.
Sorry, no. Thumb
war for yourself.
We were gifted some potatoes. Why is that funny?
We were gifted some. All right, go ahead though. Yeah.
We were. It's
funny.
part of the story.
Yep.
We were gifted potatoes like a week ago or something. And so since we got the potatoes, I was like, you know what I've never done before? I've never made my own potato chips. Yes. I was like, that would be cool. Why did I think that'd be cool? Just because it's something you do by yourself. You know, you like to, I don't know.
I'm going to do it myself.
Maybe it's a man thing, bro. You like to craft things with your hands. But for me, it's like craft things in the kitchen.
It's DIM, do it myself.
You know, way cooler.
Do it yourself.
Now,
DIO, do it ourselves.
As I was considering making the chips, I realized I wanted sweet potato chips because those are rarer. And if you make them yourself, how rare can they really be? Because you made them. So I do so. I'm getting potatoes, I'm peeling them, washing them, rinsing them, putting them in cold water, boiling them, whatever. Now,
bro had to give the whatever before he gave away the secrets.
The process of making potatoes into chips is to cut them into slices, right? Now, it would take a very long time to use a knife, so I used a mandolin. If you don't know what a mandolin is, I suggest you Google it so you can get a good image, a visual representation. But I'll try to explain it. It's just like a standing blade. Oh, kind of. It's not standing, but it's still a still blade on a platform, right? Like on a sliding. Be quiet.
I'm being their thoughts. Right, guys?
Thoughts are not audible.
You should hear him talk. Ah! No. All right, go ahead, though.
On a sliding, it's like you slide whatever you're trying to cut across a blade, and it cuts off a small slice. Look up a mandolin, and you will be like, he actually did describe that well. The same way
someone
as
just
the
searched
instrument.
Amanda Lynn, and they're like, who is this woman?
Anyway, usually when you use a mandolin,
I don't know how to spell the instrument.
Mandolin.
Oh, maybe I do know how to spell the instrument. Go ahead, though.
You'll start with your potato, your cheese, your apple, whatever.
Whatever you're slicing.
You cheese is a bad idea. You should definitely just use like firm vegetables and roots and stuff. Anyway, you slide it across, you cut a few slices until it's too short to hold safely with your hand. And then there's a guard, and you put the guard on top, and you can use the guard to safely finish the rest of your potato or your apple or your carrot, whatever it is that you were trying to slice. Now, I grabbed the mandolin and not the guard. I didn't know we had a guard. I didn't know where that thing was. So I'm slicing. I'm going quite quickly because I'm in a groove. I'm like, aha, I'm making slices. Too quickly. And before I know it, boom! I slice a piece of my pointer finger. Oh, my fault. I'm going back. Trigger warning.
Boy!
Violence.
Get out of here.
I'm serious.
Well, it's too late. You didn't literally go back. What is happening?
I sliced a piece of my finger off, my pointer finger, and it was very painful. So I go, it's bleeding a lot. I cover it in gauze.
He is not joking when he says a piece, bro. He injured himself a little bit.
A piece. I gauze it up and tape it up, and I continue working. Continue making my chips.
Let's go.
I'm like, all right, I'll be careful this time. Still don't use a guard. So I'm slicing. The potato is like quite tall still. I'm like, I have plenty of room to go. So I'm going. I'm like, I got a few more slices and then I'll slow down so I don't hurt myself. So I'm just keeping a steady pace. Ah! Slice off a part of my middle finger.
Dang it!
It's like into the fingernail. I'm looking at it right now.
Bro, that is just terrible.
Yeah. So like imagine, no, don't.
Oh.
Because I can't explain this. I've
Trigger
never
warning,
seen a
guys.
wound like this before. Anyway, I did that again. I was very upset with myself. And then I decided, you know what? Let me go find the guard. Found the guard. My hands were safe afterwards.
Oh, afterward.
How did the chips come out, you're asking? Pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I put them in a bag and they got soggy. I ruined it. Don't put hot things in a bag. The steam will ruin the texture. Fun fact. So like when you have if you come home and you bring chicken like from Bojangles or something, don't leave the containers closed. It will become soggy chicken.
Fact. You gotta
Try to have a little bit of airflow.
open the airspace. What is it called? An open and closed system. Y'all remember chemistry? But yeah, and fun fact also, quick little story. It's gonna be very quick. My dad comes home to try the chips after Isaiah has explained it to me and my mom already. He tries one. He's like, these are pretty cool. My mom goes, do you know you're eating a sacrifice? That's it, though. That was funny. Nice one, Mom. That was your good joke of the year. See you again in 2025.
Oh, gosh. Now, am I going to forgive that mandolin for doing that to me? Absolutely not. There was no reason for it to slice me up twice.
Like,
the first time it was like slow it, be more careful. You got to slow it down. And I was like, all right, I'm more careful. Let me slow it down. The second time was completely unreasonable.
unforgivable.
And it was worse. And it hurts worse. And I need my fingers for things, as you can imagine. And right now they're just
Disabled. But I wish him well.
So am I going to forgive them? Am I going to forgive that mandolin? Of course not. And here's the reason. I don't necessarily feel like I have to maintain a good relationship with this mandolin. I don't value my relationship to this mandolin enough to give it my forgiveness. Now, the reason for that is because a mandolin is an inanimate object.
Right.
And is not alive.
It might be dead.
Shut up. And it has and it has no feelings.
Good luck getting forgiven for that one.
Nah,
Buster.
nah. Now, some people take that stance and apply it to the people in their lives where they're like, I could forgive you, but you know what?
You're dead to me.
You're dead to me. I don't need your friendship. I don't care about repairing this relationship. I'd rather we cut it off right here because you are who you are and you did whatever it was that you did.
Now, in one way, I would say personally, this is my opinion, disclaimer, that there might not be anything wrong with one part of that, which is separating yourself from a person who's hurting you. In some situations, that's a perfectly fine thing to do. Like, let's say you're at a workplace and that keeps happening and you have other jobs lined up and it's like, I could be somewhere else, but I liked this company. And then the company is just messing with you. And you're like, well, moving on to another company so that my life doesn't suck. I don't see why that would be a problem. However, it's a different thing if, let's say, you have kids with this person and you're trying to raise them or something else like that. And it's not so light of a thing to leave and never turn back because the relationship should matter a little bit. But the offense has killed this person in your eyes.
Word. That's real. Real spiel.
So on the subject of not forgiving people on the basis that they are not worth it or, you know, they didn't earn it. Like, why would somebody want to earn forgiveness in the first place? What does it do for them?
You know, for some people, because I'm not gonna say it's universal,
Okay.
but for some it brings peace. You know, sometimes maybe they also feel bad for whatever it was that they did to you. You know, maybe they've been trying to apologize for a long time. They're like, I'm so sorry that I sliced up your finger. I never meant to do it.
If that thing starts talking to you, you need to leave and pray.
You mean so much to me. No one ever pulls me out of the cupboard. You're the only one who slices anything with a mandolin. Everyone else uses a knife.
Yep.
And I never meant to hurt you in that way. And then if I were to say no, if I were to restrict that forgiveness, I'm hurting them more because they're already hurting. They're putting pressure on themselves for sorry, it just hit me that I'm talking about a mandolin.
Oh my God.
They're putting more pressure on themselves because they feel guilty for whatever it was that they did, and then you are compounding that guilt by saying, yeah, you should feel guilty. I don't forgive you. Now, some people, I don't know, they may feel like unjustly deserving of forgiveness is crazy, you know, because even if you don't deserve it, you should still give it. That's, you know, forgiveness is a gift. They don't have to earn forgiveness. You know, you can,
Right.
but giving forgiveness freely is an option as well.
So what benefit is there and for whom for giving this forgiveness? Forgiving this forgiveness.
Well, I explained how the receiver of the forgiveness can benefit.
Right.
Giving a person forgiveness also releases them from your mind to an extent.
Yeah.
So like if they did this to you, blah 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 blah, and you're hurt by that. Sometimes you live your life through that lens of whatever it was that they did to you, how they offended you, how they maybe hurt you, abused you in the past or whatever. And so then when you release that, when you forgive them, then you're able to look at people, other people even, in a different light. You know, sometimes the way that you think about one person and one scenario affects the way that you treat others.
Yeah.
And by releasing them, by forgiving them from whatever it was that they did, now you're allowing yourself to live outside of the memory and the burden of whatever it was that happened to you in the past or was happening to you recently, whatever it was.
Right. And you can take a shower with no comebacks.
You know?
That's true. That is very true. So it has benefit for both. And I think I don't just think it, I know it, because I was just reading a bunch of things about forgiving. And a lot of people don't believe that it's worth it to forgive someone because of they purposefully do not seek to benefit the other person that has hurt them. So even though it may help them to feel less angry and may help them to deal with their relationships better, they're not going to forgive, because that would mean that this other person that they hate is able to experience less discomfort, and they want the maximum amount of revenge. You feel guilty? Good.
Feel more guilty, actually.
And although I think that's not reasonable, but an understandable sentiment, again, it will mess with you in ways that you wish it didn't. And so it's good for you to let it go, even from a selfish, quote unquote, perspective of just wanting to be able to live your life well, because
That's real spiel. Now, we've been kind of dancing around this idea.
What kind of dance? Salsa.
No. Bachata.
No, whatever they were doing in that video with the JoJo pose.
Yes, where the dude he was on the ground getting swung around.
Can you remember what that's called?
What the dance is called? I sent it. So it's in a group chat somewhere.
Perfect. Okay. I might have to put that in the comments for when this comes out.
Now, we've been dancing around the idea of not forgiving. Is there ever a time where forgiveness is like, no, where it's just not feasible? There's no possible way that you are going to receive the forgiveness that you so badly want, because you, even though you're supposed to give it, even though you don't deserve it, you really, really don't deserve it, and you're not going to get it. Is there ever a time where that makes sense? Now, we read a study, and it brought up some interesting things, some interesting points that I think are incredibly valid. However, it's all the solutions that they come up with and the reasons behind the things that they say were in contrast with, like, you could still forgive someone and still have precaution.
Okay.
So, Elijah, if you could go ahead and pull up that report. It's on here.
Oh, very
Just
good.
open up Chrome.
Bro, I was stressed out. I was like, oh no. Very well mind.
Yep. Go up.
All the way
And
to the top, or?
when not forgiving someone is okay. You can go ahead and just read that.
Let me read this joint for y'all. All right.
Sorry.
That was acting out.
That was a smoking joke.
When not forgiving someone is okay. Whether or not it's okay to refuse to forgive someone depends on your definition of forgiveness. That's true.
That's real.
Do you mean that you plan on letting the person who wronged you come back into your life, even if they're not willing to change? Do you mean that you'll refrain from mentally holding a grudge against the person so you can free up your mental space?
That's real.
In the first definition, you could be setting yourself up for more stress and hurt. In the second, you're considering your mental health and making a decision that supports your well-being. Do I keep reading this quote and stuff? Let's read it. Forgive those who have injured you, not because they deserve your forgiveness, but because you can never be happy until you release your anger and grant forgiveness. By John Lockwood Huey.
That's real spill. But I feel like there's I was reading some other part of this. There it is, right here. Reasons why it's okay not to forgive.
Do I go ahead and start?
Yes, sir.
You should not let someone back into your life who has consistently demonstrated a pattern of abuse. Do not feel pressured to do something that you don't want to do. There are situations when it's okay to not forgive someone. Here are just a few examples. Number 1, you're still feeling the effects of their actions or experiencing PTSD in the shower because of how you were treated. particularly for my bad, y'all. I'm going to reread that because of my joke. You're experiencing PTSD because of how you were treated, particularly in cases of childhood abuse. Number 2, you feel like you're not ready to forgive them even after they have expressed an apology and offered to amend their future behavior. It's okay to tell them that. You feel that forgiving someone would guarantee that they're back in your life, and this would put you and those around you, like your children or family, at risk. Consider the risks of offering your forgiveness if the other person sees it as an open door back into your life. That's kind of bars, maybe.
It's kind of bar. Dang, this mic's a little bit louder. I switched mics, y'all.
Number 3,
I'm turning it down.
it may also be okay not to forgive someone if you feel that the person will pressure you to partake in negative behaviors. For example, drinking alcohol if you're sober. Or at all, bro. Drinking alcohol is bad. Don't do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Because then you won't be sober. And lastly, number 4. Y'all, the numbers were fake. I'm reading them out loud. I'm creating the numbers for your organizational purposes. Number 4, which is the final one, you feel that the person does not respect your boundaries. For example, when they contact you at all hours of the day and night, begging you for your forgiveness, they're only thinking about their needs and not considering your well-being. Word.
Now, this list is pretty good. However, I feel like even in that, those are ways that you can avoid trouble, hardship, I guess. But like you can still forgive them.
Right.
Like in the way that they explain releasing them from your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily have to, all right, you said sorry, I forgive you.
So come over here and
Come
hit
on
me
back.
again. Yeah.
You know, or maybe they were mean to your kids, bullied them. Sorry, that's funny because it's an adult in my mind. Bullying your kid.
Yeah.
Saying things like, you stink. Ha ha. Stinky poo poo.
You stinky poo poo head. I'm 36.
Get a job.
Yeah, get a job, you little. What are you, some kind of baby?
You still live with your mom? Anyway.
I can't wait to turn 30 sitting on
You can forgive them. Say, hey, I accept your apology. I understand that you realize that what you did was wrong. But I might not say, hey, man, I need someone to babysit my kids. Are you free?
Right. Yeah.
I don't care if you're free.
Right. Or and let's say like if they're gonna keep pressuring you to drink alcohol, like this one said, and you know that they have no intention of stopping because maybe one time you were like, you know what? I forgive you guys. I know that you guys really care about my safety and you won't bring that around me because you respect my boundaries. And then you guys come over and hang out, and instead of at the bar or at a party, it's just chilling at the house playing board games. And then you're like, man, this game is getting kind of lame. You know, is there something else we could do? And they're like, oh, don't you worry. We knew you would say that. And pull out the booze. And you're like, bro, I don't want it still. So then the next time they're like,
stew.
Hey, stew. I don't
want it.
I don't
stew.
want it. Stew.
Sorry.
I'm tired of reading the news. Anyway, you know, and so you guys go home or whatever, go your separate ways, maybe after a brief argument, and they offer to hang out the next weekend, and you're like, look, hey guys, I do forgive you because I know that this is the way you understand of having fun. However, I'm really not interested in doing that, and I fear you guys will put me at risk again. So,
yeah.
I am not going to be hanging out with you all this weekend. But I hope you guys have fun and please be safe. I'll see you on Monday at work.
Have you have you
No, I have not. Why would I have done that? Have you
I'm still
bro, you're a bot.
I'm still saying what I'm saying.
All right, cut that part out.
No. it's too late.
My bad, y'all.
By treating them differently as a reaction to the things that they've done, have you not forgiven them? Is that how that works? It's like technically you forgave them,
Right.
but did you really? Because you're treating them worse now, worse in quotes.
Right. And so now I think partially it depends in the specific example, because if I'm saying, now I will not be participating in these events, but I hope you guys are safe. And I'm being insincere and I'm saying these things to rub it in their face because I know they really wanted my company, but I'm like, no, because, you know, you guys are just vile creatures. And when I see them on Monday, I'm going to scoff and sneer at them. I don't think that was forgiveness at all. But like, if you're really just separating yourself for the sake of the separation and safety, and you don't want to drink alcohol, and you really do hope that they're safe, and I don't know, when you see them on Monday, you're still going to help them when they're when they come in 5 minutes late and they need somebody to back them up or something, then that's forgiveness, I would say, even though you did treat them differently.
Word. I agree. I left my phone on in the other place. I dropped my phone.
That was pretty good. This brother did not drop his phone. But I will not elaborate.
So I don't know where we are.
Now, honestly, we were just having fun.
I don't know what that means.
We kind of finished the what's in the notes, and then like the last 2 or 3 actual solid points were from thin air.
Word.
The thin air of real truth.
Real spiel.
We might need to do a part 2 on this.
Yeah. With someone who needed to forgive somebody, and then we have them tell all their trauma.
And we can get into
it'll be like a therapy session.
I hate you.
I'm sorry.
We can get my bad. Initials BB for saying the phrase that you don't like, bro. Get over it. Just kidding. Forgive me. So, at the beginning of this episode, I was talking about forget about it. This is why I was saying we might need a part 2, because we've gone on a lot, and honestly, I think there have been some real solid things that have been covered, a really good discourse and conversation, but that point, we haven't even gotten to it yet, per se.
We kind of have.
I don't think in the fullest. I think it could be brought up as part of another conversation in a part 2. Y'all, let us know if you want a part 2. Actually,
what are we at?
That makes sense. We are currently, I'm looking around the world. I just needed to switch tabs for those of you who didn't get that. I'm at 1 minute. We're at 1 minute. What? Oh my gosh. I'm a bot. We're at 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 20 seconds.
Oh, it's about time.
20 of those seconds were put on there just because I didn't know what was going on. Anyway. Oh gosh. Sorry, guys. I am a bot. I'm a Zuckerberg.
Look, y'all. Elijah is saying a lot of things right now. I'm trying to help him by cutting him off.
Oh, so now you're going to cut me off just because I'm a Zuck.
I am. Can you forgive me?
Yes. But I'm going to treat you.
That was a corny joke. All right. We talked about forgiveness. We talked about reasons why people don't forgive.
Yeah.
And then we talked about reasons why you need to forgive or you should forgive. And now, this is the part of the podcast that is the most important. The most important part. Because some of you out there listening right now are living your life outside of God's forgiveness. You feel me? You live in your life and you're not living by God's command, and you're kind of just doing your own thing. You know, you think you have it all sorted, but actions have consequences. And I'm not going to get too deep into that, but essentially, you know, all of us have, as I'm sure you've heard, if you're in any kind of Christian sphere, have fallen short of the glory of God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So essentially, for those who aren't in a Christian sphere, basically what that means is that nobody's perfect. in the most simplest way I can say it. Nobody's perfect, and especially according to what God wants us to be, you know, nobody starts off doing that. Nobody's born saved, right? And the reason for that is because and I feel as though it was designed that way because being saved has to be a choice.
Right.
You know, you can't inherit salvation.
For the fact you are actually not a bot. You make your own choices.
Correct. God gave you free will. And in that, you know, it's important that you come to terms with, you know, the reality of God's love, the reality of heaven, where God wants you to be, and in hell,
Right.
you know, where God does not want you to be.
Right.
You know,
Earlier we talked about the fact that you can and should trust God because of what He has displayed, and you can trust in His character, that He is someone who is not reluctant to forgive you, because a lot of people who begin to understand sins that they've committed and begin to understand maybe any personal lacks or whatever will begin to ostracize themselves and be like, you know, even a God who's all powerful and whatever, he sees my sin and He knows it's disgusting and whatever, so He won't forgive me, and they don't even shoot for it. However, this is not the nature of God. And people say, oh, maybe that's not the nature of Jesus, but what about God the Father and whatever and all that stuff? Old Testament and New Testament, the message has been that you are loved even in your sin. And the moment you decide to make a change, God is going to be fully behind that, supporting it, because He wants to see you live well, because that's the way He designed it.
facts.
So
If you need an example of that, just real quick, New Testament, Jesus died on the cross. That's for us. Old Testament, just something off the dome. David committed adultery. Well,
Yep,
I mean, committed adultery.
He committed a lot.
And murder, and lying, and he was still forgiven by God. He had to talk to him, you know, and he had to go through some turmoil. He had to go through the consequences of his actions.
Right.
But he was forgiven, lineage of Jesus, you know. So there's restoration in that. So don't ever feel like I'm too far gone. If you haven't slept with somebody's wife and then murdered them, you're not too far gone.
If you haven't stabbed your niece, all right.
Sliced my fingers. No, I'm playing.
If you haven't eaten at Applebee's, listen, you can be forgiven.
But on a serious note, you know, no sin is too big for God to forgive.
Right. Even if I might gawk at it,
Yeah.
God is not going to be surprised.
Exactly. So with that, the way that you accept Jesus into your heart is actually quite simple. And the way to do that is by just saying a simple prayer, asking Him for forgiveness and some other things. Now, you may be saying, cool, there's a simple prayer.
Where's it at?
Where's it at? I've never heard of this simple prayer. I need to write it down so I can. It's less about the words, and definitely more about the heart behind them, your meaning. You know what I'm saying?
Just like taking someone out a date to Applebee's. My bad. Except way better.
So
Okay,
right now, what's important is that all you have to do is say it. It's important that you're saying it truthfully. You're not just saying words because you're hearing us say, repeat after me. You're saying them and really pondering and thinking about what you're saying. And if you really mean it, because it's pointless to say it and not mean it, because then you're not actually asking for the salvation that we're talking about. So with that, I'm going to stop doing all this talking, and I'm going to ask Elijah if he would graciously lead us in a prayer.
All right, y'all. So go ahead and just repeat after me if you're interested in saying this prayer. And yeah, just like Isaiah said, mean the words if you say them, and it will help you a lot. So let's pray. Say, dear God, I thank you for my life, and I thank you for this opportunity. I pray that you would help me to come to terms with your love and how they overcome my sin. I pray that you would deliver me from a lifestyle that is against your will, and that you would show me a better way. I pray that you would come into my life and that you would make me new and give me a hope for a better future. I thank you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Now, I had a slight typo in that prayer. You know what I mean, bro. Like I said, I'm saying that prayer, and I meant it. So I think I said they instead of it in reference to love, which is singular. But, yep, I meant it. And if you meant it,
Welcome to the club, the Cool Kids Club, as
Amen.
I say every single time.
let's go.
Which is, anyway.
Anyway.
Now, secret word.
What should the secret word be?
Mandolin. No,
Nah.
it's too obvious.
Cut
Cut. I like
for your
cut.
fingers.
Cut.
And for the devious YouTube channel.
All right.
Yeah,
no.
we should cut that part out.
cut for in solidarity with me.
And for the this is for some of y'all who really need help making a creative comment to include the secret word. And by the way, if you never knew, if maybe you never listened this far before, secret words are meant to be included inconspicuously in comments, meaning that not everyone, unless you've heard this far, can even tell that you included that word on purpose to be part of a special reference.
You know what I just realized, bro?
What?
I got my thumb too, but it wasn't like bad. You can see the little indent.
He might have just luckily got the tough part of his thumb.
Yep, I didn't get the
Didn't
tough part of
bleed.
these.
Bro, it looks so weird. He's got like laser pointers on the end of his fingers from trigger warning, blood.
Yes, blood.
But yeah, so
Cut.
the secret word is cut. And for those of you who really need help saying something creative, if you want to be relevant to this episode, offenses in life can leave deep cuts and wounds.
Or if you really need another one, maybe Elijah's jokes shouldn't have made the cut.
Right.
Maybe something
Or,
like that.
I've forgiven him. He just muted me. This guy's evil. I've forgiven him for muting me a lot of times, but I don't know how much more cloth I can cut or something. I don't know. He's squinting at me like Shane.
We love you guys so much.
Yes, a lot.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Oh, man, the comments on last week's episode on the Therapy Blitz were
so good.
So just a joy to read. Honestly.
Pleasure to have in class.
We love you guys' comments so much. Please let us know what you think. Please put things down in the comments. We read every single one of them at the time of recording.
Yep.
If we ever get very big and there's like thousands, knows?
Forgive.
We'll we'll read a lot of them, but maybe not 100% of them. But as of right now, March date,
Hold on.
2024.
Hold on. It is currently the 8th of March. The 8th, right? Don't look at
It's
me
the
like that.
8th of March.
It's the unless you're listening beyond that date, you know.
And as of releasing this, we read all your comments. Please
Including the ones that you can leave on Spotify.
take. Oh yeah.
We see y'all.
If you're listening on Spotify, we see those, and we I've been trying to publish them. So Spotify, the way they do it is that the replies only I can see them, or only me and Elijah can see them, and they're private. And then I can go in and publish them so that you can go to episodes and you can see other people's responses to the questions or whatever. And what's interesting about the questions on Spotify is that they're specific. So like the comment section on YouTube is just a comment section.
Hey,
You can
leave
put
a comment.
comments.
Right.
Yeah. On Spotify, there might be something specific. There might be an exclusive question. Who knows, bro?
Right.
But yes, I mean, your comments are the only reason that we still do this, bro. If no one was watching, listening, hearing what we're talking about, having a discussion, discourse, what would be the point? And
We would be deluded.
you know, so we love you guys, and we
Before we sign off, I have a challenge to issue. Y'all, thank you for being in the comments. I appreciate that. And for those of you who comment on YouTube where you can reply to people easily and freely, try to leave a reply on someone else's comment. Like this is a discussion board that I have to do for ethics class. And say something meaningful about what they said or ask them a question or something like that. It is very interesting when conversations begin to develop.
yeah.
And it would be very cool to just
Minimum
check
75 words.
All right.
No, I'm playing.
that out. Cite sources,
But yes, please
no spelling errors.
make the comment section a place to converse.
Amen.
And with that, we're gonna let y'all go. Hallelujah. All right.
All right. Love you guys. Peace out.
Peace.